You better get those feet tapping, fingers snapping, all hands clapping. Buckle up, gobble some podcorn. It's the Mickle Pod and Pickle with Mickle. And here we go. Aw, shit. Aw, shit. You know that Far Side song? I wish I could just lay it behind me for this whole episode. Alas, I cannot. Why the aw shits? Because I hope the action from San Clemente over the weekend will launch us into the aw shit era of pickleball. That's when on a Monday you're like, oh shit, did you see that match on Saturday? Did you see the championship match on Sunday? Did you hear what so-and-so said? Aw, shits are good. I'll keep them to a minimum. That was 5. Let that marinate. Ah, shit. Can't help myself. Today is Canada Day. Mere days before we get to go nuts for the 4th, celebrate our independence, the Canucks get theirs in. In 1867? Oh, Canada. 1867? We already had a civil war, for crying out loud. The Dominion of Canada was formed. Canada Day became official in 1982, and they have parades, fireworks, and flag displays, and supercharged beers, you hosers. Okay, quick Canadian spoke out. Strange Brew, awesome. Jim Carrey, where's he been? Ryan Reynolds, we know where he's been. Everywhere. Dan Aykroyd, Seth Rogen, and Ken himself, Ryan Gosling. All Canadian actors. That is me applauding you. Sorry, brah. How could I leave out Johnny Utah? Keanu Reeves, he's from Canada too. You want some girl power? Rachel McAdams, Anna Paquin, Emily Van Camp, and everyone's all-American, Pam Anderson. That's right. She is from Canada. Is it weird when the 4th is on a Thursday? I mean, do you get the Friday after the 4th off? Has that become the annual floating holiday, air quotes again, serving no purpose in an audio medium? Like, the Monday after the Super Bowl. How many of these clever floating holidays have we created for ourselves so we can get out of work? I mean, we are ingenious. We love to work. We do. And we work hard finding ways to get days off. Oh, shit. We are off and running on this Monday. Quick break, fuel up, and keep the party going. Keep that face safe around those fireworks this 4th of July, and keep that beard and stash looking fly with great stuff at Valhalla beardandbody.net. Use promo code MIC15. Beard up at Valhalla beardandbody.net. The Mickle Pod and Pickle with Mickle is all new, twice a week, all major podcast apps. Earbuds in, podcorn ready. It's back to the show. Dinking, smashing, third shot dropping, got pickleball fever, and it's not stopping. It's Pickle with Mickle. Pickle with Mickle. Pickle with Mickle, alright. Oh yeah, it's Pickle with Mickle on a Monday when I can just get right into the notebook and then try to make sense of it from there. This is getting good. The good thing is I see no signs of this pickleball thing not getting even better. The coverage on the streams and screens will get better, and that will be important for survival of the overall sport. It will get better. Better yet, how about the Triple Crown? Won by Ella Cosma on the junior side, making her the first girl to do it, and only the second junior, according to my sources, to pull off a Triple Crown. That makes this entire sport even better. PPA, APP Next Gen, building through a solid foundation of youth and community. Do not forget us hacks out there on the court, right? We've got our dreams. We need to keep seeing this on TV. We need to see the real pros doing it so we can think we get out there and can do it too. So I say shout out to PPA Juniors, powered by Proton. They had that big announcement not long ago. Partnership between PPA Junior, Proton. I can also say, wow, what an amazing weekend for young Ella, another young gun to keep an eye on. I had my eyes on soon-to-be former number one which has probably already happened. That's Ben Johns. And I had my eyes on former number one Ben Johns starting back in the round of 16. And his win, I said win, over Naveen Beasley. That's when I first saw it. Now, has it always been there? Maybe I just noticed it now. I'm talking about bitter brine face. That's right. I've come to realize, that when Ben plays, he plays, can we say, sort of a methodic, robotic style, right? Not a lot of emotion from Ben Johns. Guy goes to work, got a job to do. I mean, who knows what level he's on in that Magic card game he plays in between games or whatever Bakugan brawler he's thinking about calling up. There's always that same kind of expression. This bitter brine face is something else. I mean, maybe Sister Hannah has already given him some shit, before the deal. Like there was a bet on the whole time. She's like, I'm gonna shame you in public talking about you losing number one. He's like, don't do it. She's like, I'm gonna do it. He's like, don't do it. She's like, I'm gonna do it. Right? Fun sibling shit. Let's hope that kind of stuff is happening. The same face during another win. The epic match against JW and Georgia Johnson. More on that match in a minute. More on the face. And then first of all, here's, Fleming, in regards to the loss of the number one, Dave Fleming, could not stop himself oogling over Dylan Frazier, who's going to be the new number one ranked men's double player. I got to do a quick notebook check. Yeah, Dave, not one, not two. I counted 4 times you went to the good-looking Paris Todd call. Dave, was it a good-looking shot? I didn't hear that part. Dave, I heard good-looking Paris Todd, like you got a little Paris Todd crush going on there. That was in the quarterfinals, and for crying out loud, Megan Dizon her name was playing in the same match. Don't get me sidetracked. Just keep it classy, Fleming. Back to Ben Johns, who would come away with one win in this tournament. He won mixed with Whiplash, and it was a pancake job of Christian Alshon and CP. Back to Saturday, and shit, that final was actually the semifinal, right? When will we get these teams properly aligned? Balls were flying off J-Dub's chest for winners. Georgia Johnson flying all over the court, pressuring Whiplash, pressuring Ben. They had them dead to rights, and somehow here they came back. And now pressure counts, and I started to see some shots slipping away on the side of Team Johnson. Look, the match was amazing, and again, just a semifinal. J-Dub and Georgia, they'll be back. We know they will. They've beaten this team one time. Not many people can say that. Not too many people can take down Ben and Anna Lee, right? So we know J-Dub and Georgia will be back. I know Ben and Anna Lee will be back. No, they're going to be playing together. What about Ben and Colin? Now, I've been saying it, and it bears repeating. Ben Johns is going to lose some games. He's going to lose in some tournaments. We are seeing what the new faces in men's pickleball were continuing to get better, and now newer faces even emerging. And they're getting better, and they're challenging players. They're coming through these tournaments, getting further in the draw, and they're winning. Why is this good? Because in a sport like pickleball, any sport, stories, rivalries, these are good. These are what are going to draw us in. These are going to make the casual fan tune in a little bit on a Saturday or a Sunday. The diehards are going to be there. This will make the casual fan potentially buy a ticket when a tournament's in town. How packed is this Beer City Open going to be when MLP piggybacks off of it? And I got more thoughts on that coming up. I'm trying not to lose track, right? But if you go back, ask somebody who their favorite pickleball player, if we go back 3 years ago, who it was. Could they name anybody if they weren't in the pickle? No. If we go 2 years back, when I started this show, I can tell you when I first started paying attention, the McGuffin, Johns, Waters, Newmans, big names. You get to know those right away. Now, of course, I had to go deeper. And you can go back into the archives of this show. I mentioned names like Trung, Patrick, Quintardio, Bright, just to name a few. There they were. And of course, the Johnsons, Dylan Frazier. And I know many people knew then, and they still know now, a lot more than I do about some of the backstories of these players, but I'm trying to bring that to you as well. Back to the point. Just 2 years. Fast forward to now. Ask somebody now. Can they name MLP teams? Can they name a few players? I bet they can. This whole story, the whole story is being written of this sport right in front of us. Look around. It has all of the elements and the moving parts of a major league, even though it's a fledgling league. We don't know how much money is going into this thing, even though we hear a lot. We don't know what players are getting paid. We don't know what they're taking home for winning tournaments. They get those big, huge trophies, which is always cool. But we've got sniping of leagues back and forth. Who's making the rules? Which rules to follow? Which ball is good? Which paddle is hot? Paddle, 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 right? And does my duper or utuper really mean anything? Each week, we continue, though, to see players pushing through. We see new talent pushing, let's just call it the old guard. I think we were pushing some foot faults this weekend, ref. I mean, come on. So let's get back to some of this action before I get caught in the kitchen. Anna Leigh Whiplash Waters, Triple Crown. 27th? Wow. And leaving no doubt, even against her partner CP, that was a throttle job in the singles final. Now, there's a lot being made about her mom coaching Christian Alshon, who himself had a solid run in doubles this week. Of course, players have coaches. And because this player-coach dynamic is so huge, it's huge in any sport, more amplified in, we'll call it the individual sports, your tennis, your pickleball, your golf, swimming, any of these things. But there's also some team element in pickleball as we see. Who are we going to see become these specialists on tour? Who becomes the go-to coach? I can't help but thinking about golf and the Butch Harmons and the Hank Haneys and all these famous guys. Now you got Leigh Waters. Will players have a stable of coaches as the game expands? Who are some of those other coaches? They're out there. They just might not have the recognizable name of a Leigh Waters. How many coaches does a current player have now with them? And then, of course, the mental toughness of continuing to dominate when you're the champ, when you're the alpha, when you've got the bullseye on you. Like a Ben Johns and an Anna Leigh, even a Tyson McGuffin and some of these other players have on them every time they're in a tournament. Because the new guys want to take them down. It's like knocking out Tyson, for crying out loud. And that whole mental toughness, the repetition, going through it every time. And what type of pull does somebody like a Ben Johns, an Anna Leigh Waters, we know they've got a pull now outside of the court because they are the faces of this new, fresh flower, this pickleball. And so, this all could contribute to Bitter Brine Face a lot. Ben's 25. Anna Leigh's only 17. Now, at 25, he's been doing it for a little while. And again, maybe some interest. Not to say that he doesn't want to play pickleball and be number one. I think there's some competitive drive in there. You can't do what these people do and not have that. But I think it would only be natural for Ben to be a little mentally gassed. We've seen an adverse reaction from Anna Leigh when she lost. I like hearing her say, and I can't remember which match it was, that she's here for it when referring to the rising talent on the women's side of the tour. Now, she waxed poetic about a few of the players she went against this time. I'm here for it. Me too. And I'm here for asking these players some harder questions. Just nothing about height, weight, or waist size. Who is the jackhole who was asking those questions to the 15-year-old kid at this weekend's Rocket Mortgage Classic on the PGA Tour? Whew, wait a minute, where was I? Oh yeah, I'm also here in the capacity that I am an unlicensed mental health coach, 100% positivity provider. That's right. If you want to get that edge for your game, you just let me know. Or maybe you just want to get weird. We can do that too. Nothing weird. Back to the action about Christian Hayworth taking the men's single title. Dude's been rolling on the APP side. Now takes that gold. Takes down Fed in 3. That's a big win. Men's double final. A lot of hype coming in. There's J-Dub, Dylan Frazier. Let me say it. Big H and Pablo Tejas. Hey, look, Patrick can play. He likes to flex a bit. He's only 18. He's got a little swag, right? He likes to chirp. I think it's all cool. I think we need it in the game. I think we can tone down the big H every time. Fleming, just trying to help you out. Not this time. I still don't know what he said to get a technical. Was it driven on himself? Did he snipe a little bit over there at J-Dub or Dylan? I know that J-Dub and D. Frazier were way too much. We know that Dylan, number one now in men's dubs, that was their 5th win this year. That ties them with Colin and Ben. So you can see how they're going to rise up in the rankings. What's J-Dub's doubles ranking? Who cares? Next week, MLP midseason going to be here, which means the Beer City Open will be there. I guess actually strike that, reverse it. It's fair to say MLP is going to be at the Beer City Open. If you're going and you have a Picklegating shirt, wear it. Post pics of your Picklegate. Tag the Mickle Pod in those social posts. No, there's not a contest or a giveaway. Give me a freaking break. I don't got any budget for that. Just go have some fun. And Picklegate responsibly. APP out in Newport. If you need that pickle fix this weekend, because you can find it right on ESPN. Right here tonight, Monday night. Go meet the Arizona Drive up at Proton HQ. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is at Proton Sports up in Scottsdale. I think you can find some of the information online, and I think the action is starting at 6:30. I'm going to be up there. It's going to be cool. It's going to be fun. Let's take a little break and come back to Merry England for a spell. Cheers! Might be saying that a lot this week and over the 4th of July weekend. I'm talking about cheerspickleball.net. Go to cheerspickleball.net. Check out their awesome new grips. They're cool. They're fun. They got hats. A lot of stuff going on at cheerspickleball.net. You can also use a promo code TheMickle15 at cheerspickleball.net and get ready. Evan, owner, Cheers Pickleball, going to join me on the court. Next installment of the Pickle with Mickle interview series. You're going to want to check it out. It's happening this week. Go to cheerspickleball.net. Welcome back to the Mickle Pod. Glad you are here with me. And now, buckle up. We're getting right back into the action. You better have that popcorn ready. Ain't no time to adjust those depends. Back into the action right now. From court to court across the pond, Wimbledon. The fortnight has begun. Get your strawberries and cream. I love Wimbledon, and it's perfect timing always. We are in the thick of the sludge of the sports year. Look around you, folks. There's not a lot going on. I bet McEnroe going to talk some pickle. I bet he will. Is Roddick doing any coverage with any of the major networks? I caught something by Roddick breaking down his bracket with somebody on the whatever channel it was. Has Pickleball TV approached Roddick yet? How about this? Shelton over Sinner in the 4th round. Book it. If I pick Joker, is that not bold enough to win the whole thing? How about an American in the semis? That would be cool. Bold move there. Let's stay in London because we'll always have Paris and time to cover the Olympics. Just before they light that torch, the Open Championship will be played at Royal Troon. Once again, golf's finest will challenge themselves against golf's finest land, literally. I cannot wait to see how players choose to attack the course, how the weather will choose to confuse the players, and as always, which way will the wind blow? Can DeChambeau continue his style of play? John Rahm will be back in the mix. Have you heard how many 54 Tour guys get to go? I haven't. Not yet. There is time for this too. This weekend, the Rocket Mortgage was in play in Detroit. A lot made about 15-year-old Miles Russell and his debut on tour. Russell would not make the cut, even though he played admirably, and I'm sure it has nothing at all to do with his waist size or his height or weight, just more from the sports bizarro, some kook, some idiot, trying to maybe get his own angle, hoping to get his fame, make his come up, or whatever the crap was going on. He's just asking stupid questions. I mean, you're already there at the event. This is a PGA Tour event. Whatever your media cred is, you're there getting to ask the kid a question. I mean, well, The reporter in question, I should say, was at this event. Let's hope they're not at any other events. I don't know who it was. I don't have a name to try to blast here. I could just tell you it was bizarro, right? I mean, why didn't he just go in there with the big guns and ask if the kid has a crush on his teacher or something like that, for crying out loud? I'd have this guy flying a cargo plane full of rubber dog shit to Hong Kong after that fiasco. That's just me. Enough of this fiasco, though we're having so much fun. Spend some time with friends and family this 4th of July. Celebrate and embrace freedom that we all have. Stay safe out there. Stay 5 feet back from those firecrackers. Always stay hydrated. I'll see all y'all next time.